If you've been trying to achieve a specific goal for a long time and it hasn't happened, there are a couple of reasons why. Now, I'm going to walk you through them. It's a couple things. And look, we're all trying to accomplish something here. As long as you're alive, you're going to have some type of desire or willingness to achieve something, right? To want to be someone. But there are a couple of bottlenecks that we need to work through. If not, you're never going to get those. Let's dive straight into the number one. The number one thing is and this is going to be counterintuitive, but it's over importance. You're giving too much importance to the goal itself. You want it too bad. Now, yeah, that sounds a little bit crazy. Liam, I thought you were going to tell me that I don't want it enough, that I need to want it more. And look, wanting a goal, wanting a specific outcome is important. But when you want it too much, when you want it too bad, when it is so important that your little life depends on it, then it's not so good anymore. You're giving it too much importance. When you give something too much importance, it's even more difficult to achieve because now it's that much of a big deal. Right? If you told yourself, oh, you know what? I want to get some Chipotle. How hard is it to go and drive and get some Chipotle? It's pretty easy. You just get in your car, you drive, and you get the damn Chipotle. You're not intimidated by Chipotle. You're not thinking, oh my God, am I dressed right? I gotta train, I gotta really work at this, I gotta plan, I gotta strategize. Do you do that? No, you just go get in the car and you grab some damn Chipotle because it's simple. Just go to Chipotle and buy Chipotle. No big deal. And I'm telling you, many of the goals in your life, they're that simple. They are that simple to achieve. They're as easy as getting in your car and going to grab Chipotle. But the reason you don't achieve it with the same ease, same fluency as getting the Chipotle is because you're making it too important. You're making it too much of a big deal. Am I dressed right? Do I look right? Am I qualified where there's a job? Do I get the experience to start that business? Over sense of importance. You're putting it up here. I'm not saying you have to be overconfident and belittle whatever you're trying to achieve. But what I'm saying is, if you give it too much importance, it'll be too hard to achieve. You're making it too big of a deal. So there's a balance, right? You don't want to be overconfident to the point that you don't prepare. You fall into overconfidence bias. It's actually a cognitive bias that we have as humans. I'm not saying that, but I am saying if you think it's too big of a deal, you're going to procrastinate, you're going to stall, you're going to sabotage, and you're not going to achieve it. So if there's a specific bottleneck, a specific goal that you haven't achieved yet, you're probably falling into the trap of overimportance. You're making it too big of a damn deal. And the more you do that, the less likely you are to achieve it. That's principle number one. Principle number two, this one's simple, more practical, not as out there as the first one. It's just focus. You're too scattered. I know many times in my life when I've ever tried to do too many things at once, too many goals, I was too scattered. I was like, somebody trying to swim between island A to island B to island C. And I'm in the middle of the ocean. I swim a little bit towards island C. Then I swim a little bit towards island A. And before I even get there, I start swimming towards island C. And guess what? You're never going to get anywhere. Lack of focus. I spoke about this in one of my other videos called Concentration of Force, or talking about concentration of force. And how that's one of the keys to create the reality that you want. So, again, concentration of force, focus. Picking one thing at a time, not making it a big deal, lowering the sense of importance, and attacking it, going and getting it. But number one, like I said, lower the sense of importance. Number two, focus. Number three is learning. Because whatever goal that you want to achieve, You do have to, if it's a goal that of any significance, there's going to be some learning involved. And a lot of people don't like learning. They don't like, doing the hard work of absorbing new information, practicing, failing at it, continuing to try something that they haven't done before in order to learn. You learn not by only reading and watching videos like you're doing now. This is great. But you also have to, put it into action, fail a couple of times. It's hard to learn, how to swim by reading books. You got to jump in the water. That's how you learn. Now, I'm not telling you to jump on the deep end because I don't want you to drown, but you do have to jump in. You have to jump in. Speaking about water, beautiful nature. Get out in nature. That's another good one. But you do have to jump in. You have to jump in. And that leads us to point number 4. Jumping in is all about execution. You have to take action. You can learn. You can not give it a big sense of importance. You can focus, but at the end of the day, you have to take action. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to get your feet sore. You got to get out there. You got to try the very thing that you're trying to accomplish. If you don't take action, if you don't get your hands dirty, if you don't get your heart bruised because maybe you got rejected or maybe it was emotionally uncomfortable, if you don't do those things, you're never going to do it. You're never going to create the reality that you want. You have to get out there. You have to take action. Okay? Next idea. You need feedback, right? Once you take action, you're going to have to understand what you did well and what you can improve. Because if you don't have feedback, then you're just going to end up doing the same thing again and again. In many moments when I was stuck, when I couldn't get to, the place I wanted to be in life or get the results that I wanted, it was because I didn't have feedback. I was doing the same thing again, and again. The definition of insanity. You need feedback. And that's why it's so important to have mentors, to read books, to even have feedback from data. I'm wearing an Oura ring right now. Any goals that I've had in my life in terms of health, I have data because then the data helps me. What's the data? When you have a Whoop band or an Oura ring or whatever fitness tracker you use, if you even use one, what is it doing? It's giving you data. It's giving you feedback, and you need feedback. Because if you don't have feedback, it's like flying a plane blind. You don't know where you're going. And guess what? If you're flying a plane and you take off from London and you take off to New York, you're off by 1 degree and you end up in Mexico. Some of you are taking more degrees and are taking off from London and ending up in Brazil or something. It's so far off from what you initially wanted because you're off. You don't have any feedback. Okay? So take a couple things from today. Lower the sense of importance. Focus on the trajectory that you have to focus. Learn. Get out there. Take action. Once you take action, the beauty of action, the gift of action is that when you take action in life, life will give you feedback. That's the beauty. One of the most important things of action is not the action itself, because there's not a single action that you're going to take and achieve whatever you want to achieve and create whatever you want to create. It's going to be a sequence of 1,000 steps. For anything significant is action after action after action. But the gift of action is that it gives you feedback. Feed back. It feeds you back. You feed it with action and it feeds you back. Feedback. That's the gift of action. Action takes energy, is painful, takes time, but it gives you a gift. The gift of action is feedback. And feedback feeds you back, but you have to feed it first. But are you going to feed it? Or are you going to feed fear? If you feed it, it'll feed you back. And the more you do that again and again, you'll get a step closer to the reality that you want to create. Okay? I'll leave you and love you. Enjoy this view one last time. And think of that one thing you're going to do this week to get a step closer. How are you going to implement the things that I just talked about today? You can do it. I know you can. If you don't believe in yourself, I believe you. But you should believe in yourself. What do you even care what I think? You don't even know me. Or maybe you do. See you next time.